I use my FSA for green gummies, period underwear, a recovery tool, a home sauna, smart glasses, and a health tracker I wear every single day. And before I started paying attention to my benefits, I genuinely thought my FSA was mostly for doctor's visits, prescriptions, and the occasional pharmacy purchase. I had no idea how many products I was already interested in or already paying for with regular money could actually qualify. So today, I'm sharing 6 FSA finds I actually use. Not random items I bought at the end of the year just to empty my account. Not a list copy from the FSA website. These are products that made sense for my actual life as a woman, as a runner, and somebody who's just trying to be more intentional with their money. For one, I'm gonna tell you why I chose it, how I use it, what I like about it, and if I would buy it again. And anything else you should know before trying to use your own FSA funds. Because, and this is important, not every product on the list follows the same eligibility process. Always confirm the purchase with your own FSA administrator before assuming that your plan will reimburse it. Now, let's start with the most normal item and work our way up to the one that made me say, my FSA can pay for what? But before we get into the products, let's make sure we're speaking the same language. An FSA is a flexible spending account that may be offered through your employer. You contribute money to it before taxes, and that money can be used for eligible healthcare expenses. I am not a tax professional or a benefits administrator. I'm sharing my own personal shopping experience and the products I find most useful. The important thing to understand is that FSA eligible does not always mean swipe your card anywhere, buy anything vaguely related to wellness, and call it a medical expense. Some products are clearly eligible. Some require additional documentation. Some brands use services like TrueMed to determine whether you qualify and then provide a letter of medical necessity. And some products only qualify in one specific version, like prescription eyewear versus non-prescription glasses. So please check the process before purchasing. The financially fit goal is to use your money intentionally, not to create a reimbursement dispute because TikTok told you to buy a sauna. Now let's get to the finds. The first item is Groomed Superfood Green Gummies. I put this first because it's probably the most everyday wellness product on the list. And it's also a good example of why you should learn the purchasing process before you automatically use your regular card. Groomed promotes an FSA and HSA option through TrueMed. So this may involve completing TrueMed's qualification process rather than treating every supplement purchase as automatically eligible. What drew me to Groomed is because I kept seeing it everywhere, literally, like it was all over my feed, whether I was on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Google, everyone was talking about it. And not just like everyday normal people, all the celebrities were eating this and they had the kids version, and I just literally could not excuse it. Like I could not see it. And I was just thinking to myself, I don't think these people are hyping this up if it sucks. I don't know. I mean, they could just have crazy money behind it, but I just didn't think that was the case. So I was definitely peer pressured into it. For me, the appeal is not that the gummy is going to replace every healthy decision I need to make. It's the convenience. I already know the more complicated my wellness routine is, the less likely I am to maintain it doing a crazy 12-hour work shift week. These are easy to take with me. I don't have to blend anything. I don't have to scoop powder into a drink and pretend I enjoy the texture. I open the packet, I take the gummies, and keep it moving. What I like about them is legit the taste. This is the only green supplement I've ever taken that actually tastes delicious. It tastes like candy. It tastes so good that I'm mad that I can only have 1 pack a day. Like it tastes so good. It tastes like strawberries. Weird because it's green, but it does. So the taste is everything. Like I genuinely look forward to waking up every morning and having my gummy. What I would tell a newcomer, don't buy them just because you may qualify. Look at the ingredients. Think about what you're already taking and decide whether you'll realistically use them consistently. Would I buy them again? Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I've already subscribed to their quarterly deliveries, so I get 3 big bags every 3 months because I'm obsessed. And it's cheaper that way. These are expensive. So when I did see like the advertisements, I was like, yeah, no, that's so expensive for a vitamin. But when I found that they were covered by your FSA, that is what made me think, okay, well, maybe. Second find is period underwear from Thinx or from NYX. This may not be the flashiest item on the list, but it might be one of the most practical. Period underwear is something I can use repeatedly. It addresses a real monthly need, and it is exactly the kind of purchase I probably would have paid for using my regular money without ever stopping to check my FSA benefits. I use mine, obviously, for my period. For me, one of the biggest benefits is just that it's the convenience. It's not an extra layer of something. It's not putting a pad on top of your underwear. It's It's just the underwear. And also, I've seen the articles. I've seen the things that they're saying about tampons and pads and how they're trying to poison us and the world is out to get us. And I don't want to risk it. This is why I chose to go the period underwear route, because I don't want to stick anything extra in my body that I don't need to. What I like most about them is that they're reusable. So they reduce the need to repurchase disposable products over and over again. And low-key, they're kind of cute. No, it's nice to feel pretty when you're bleeding from the inside out, you know? And they're just super comfy. They feel better than my normal underwear. They feel so good. I bought the normal version of their underwear because they just feel good. What I would tell a newcomer, pay attention to the absorbency and pay attention to the return policy. And make sure you read the care instructions, because this is not necessarily something you want to throw into every laundry load without thinking. They also have just crazy different styles and different fits, so you're bound to find something that makes you feel comfortable. Would I buy them again? Yes. This is one of the easiest items on the list for me to justify because it solves a recurring need. It's not something I have to convince myself to use. It already fits into my life. The third find is my Theragun Mini. And this is where the list starts directly connecting with my life as a runner. I wanted a tool that was small enough to use regularly because I know myself. If the recovery routine makes me unpack a huge machine with 6 different attachments and watch a tutorial every time, I'm not doing it. The Mini is portable, it's easy to store, and I can use it after a run, after a long shift, or when a specific area just feels tight. What I like about it is that it's compact, it's easy to travel with, and it lowers the barrier between me thinking I should do something for recovery and then actually doing it. What I would tell a newcomer, a Theragun is not a substitute for medical care, and I would not use it aggressively on an injury just because something hurts. Follow the product guidance and speak to a medical professional when needed. I also think it's worth asking yourself whether you need the larger model or whether the Mini would genuinely cover what you need to use it for. For me, portability matters more than anything. Would I buy it again? 100%. Especially because I can use it both for running recovery and general wear and tear for just being on my feet during long work days. This is one of the products I am much more likely to use because it's small and accessible. Okay, we are halfway through the list, and the next area where things get much more surprising. But if you're new here, I create content about becoming financially fit, physically fit, and more intentional about the life I'm building. That includes budgeting, running, traveling, using my employee benefits properly, and occasionally learning that my FSA can help me buy something I absolutely did not expect. So subscribe if that sounds like your kind of channel. I post a new video every Sunday. Now, let's talk about the home sauna. The fourth find is my Sauna Box Home Sauna. This is a product that made me realize how wide the gap can be between this is marketed as a wellness product and this may qualify as a medical expense for a specific person through the correct process. Sauna Box works with TrueMed. That means the qualification process matters. The brand described completing an intake and, if approved, receiving a letter of medical necessity. So I would not present this as everyone with an FSA can automatically buy a sauna. That is not the takeaway. The takeaway is, if this is a product you are already interested in for a legitimate health-related reason, there may be an established process for determining whether you qualify. I wanted mine because I'm obsessed with saunas. I'm the girl who used to buy a gym membership solely for the sauna. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's really not. I would not go to certain gyms or sign up for memberships at certain gyms if they did not have a sauna. What I like about it is that it's mine. So cleanliness and just like sanitary wise, I love that I have my own personal sauna. I don't have to worry about somebody else's germs. Also, it's super duper easy to clean. So like, I don't know, that's perfect. What I would tell a newcomer, this is not an impulse purchase. It takes up space, it requires your setup and cleanup. You need to follow the safety instructions, and you should realistically ask yourself how often you're gonna use it. The fact that something may qualify does not erase the price. It still needs to be worth the money and useful in your actual home. Would I buy it again? 1,000% yes. The fifth find is my Ray-Ban Meta glasses. So important wording here, my prescription Meta Ray-Ban glasses. Ray-Ban supports HSA and FSA spending for eligible prescription eyewear, and some Ray-Ban Meta models are available with prescription lenses. That does not mean that every pair of non-prescription smart glasses is automatically an eligible FSA expense. So this is the one where the exact configuration matters. What makes them especially useful for me is that they're not just glasses. I can use them to record my runs, my 5Ks, my exercise exercise, anything hands-free. So calls, listening to music. I love listening to music on these because it's like a safe way to like listen to music, especially at work. No one knows I'm listening to anything. From a creator perspective, the hands-free footage is the biggest reason why they stood out to me. There are moments when pulling out my phone changes the moment, or it's just physically inconvenient, like when I'm running or when I'm traveling or I'm walking through an event or I'm cooking or I'm trying to carry something else while also attempting to film something. These glasses give me another perspective without requiring me to hold a camera in front of my face the entire time. What I like about them is that they look like regular glasses. They fit into something I already need, and they serve both a practical vision purpose and a content creation purpose for me. What I would tell a newcomer: do not assume the technology portion alone makes them FSA eligible. The prescription eyewear component is most important. Confirm your exact order and your plan's rules. Also ask yourself whether you'll genuinely use the smart features. If you only want regular prescription glasses, there are definitely far less expensive options available. Would I buy them again? Yeah, I just like the versatility of them, and I like that it's an option. Also, when I'm traveling, it was really epic to be like, hey Meta, what am I looking at? And then they would explain the Rome architecture. Like, that was unreal. The final find is my personal favorite, the Oura Ring and its membership. This is the product on the list that fits into my routine most consistently because I wear it every day. Oura says that most of its items on its online store can be purchased with FSA or HSA funds, and it also supports FSA and HSA payment for the membership. Always confirm your specific purchase and plan, but unlike some of the TrueMed-based options on this list, Oura has a direct eligibility and payment process. I use my ring to pay attention to sleep. Most importantly, I get really weird sleep. I don't really know why. Sometimes I feel like I've slept forever and I still feel gross when I wake up. So my Oura Ring gives me crazy, great, deep insights on why my sleep might have not been the most restorative kind of sleep. It's also really good for stress. It's amazing for stress. And probably the most important reason I got the Oura Ring was because I stopped taking hormonal birth control in favor of this. So when you pair it with natural cycles, flow, and actually, you don't even have to do that anymore because now Oura's awesome and they have their own cycle like data in their membership app. It'll tell you when you're fertile. If you're trying to have a baby, it can tell you what days are the best days that, you have high conception dates. If you're not trying to have a baby, it'll tell you what days you should probably use protection. Just all the things. It's like, there's nothing this thing can't do. So I'm kind of obsessed with it. So other than all that stuff, what I really like about it is that it's passive. I don't have to start a whole complicated process to start collecting the information. I wear it, sleep in it, and the data builds over time. I also like that it's more discreet than wearing, my big bulky Apple Watch all the time. What I would tell a newcomer: the ring has an upfront cost. The membership is an ongoing expense, and data is only useful when it helps you make better decisions. If seeing health metrics make you anxious or obsessive, more information is probably not better. Would I buy it again? Yes. This is my personal favorite because it's the product that I use every single day. I interact with most consistently. The one that gives me information that I can apply across sleep, recovery, and running. But I would absolutely include the cost of the membership when deciding if it actually fits your budget. But for my lifestyle, this is the one I would replace first if I lost it. So if I had to rate all 6 based on my personal experience, best everyday practical purchase, period underwear, because it solves a recurring need and does not require me to create a new habit. For runners and active people, the Theragun Mini, because it's portable and easy for me to use consistently. Most surprising, the sauna box, because I genuinely did not expect an at-home sauna to have an FSA qualification pathway. Best creator purchase, my prescription Ray-Ban Meta glasses, because they combine something I already need with a useful hands-free filming tool. Easiest wellness edition, the Gummies, because convenience is the whole appeal. Best overall and my personal favorite, the Oura Ring and the membership, because I use it most consistently and the information connects to several parts of my life. What I would not do, I would not buy every trending product labeled FSA eligible just because I had money left in my account. That is still spending. The tax advantage does not turn an unnecessary purchase into a smart purchase. I would ask, was I already considering this? Does it solve a real need? Will I actually use it? Is the eligibility process clear? Do I need a letter of medical necessity? Does my specific plan agree? And would I still think this is a good purchase if I had to explain it without saying, but technically my FSA paid for it? That question will save you from buying a lot of expensive wellness clutter. The biggest lesson for me was not that an FSA can pay for cool products. It was that I needed to understand a benefit I was already contributing to. Because before this, I was paying for health-related products expenses with regular after-tax money, while ignoring the account specifically designed to help cover eligible expenses. That is not financially fit. Financially fit is checking first, understanding the process, keeping your documentation, and choosing products that genuinely support the life you already live. Of these 6, which surprised you the most? Tell me in the comments. And please remember to verify your own eligibility with your own FSA administrator before purchasing, especially for products that require TrueMed qualification or letter of medical necessity. If you found this useful, subscribe. I post a new video every Sunday. And comment fit if you want my financially fit starter kit. I'll see you next week.